Welcome to The Point of View. It's your favorite current affairs show on television where we get the right guests, ask them relevant questions on issues that matter to you. It's an interactive show. We encourage you to comment as you watch the show, either on the social media platforms or on our normal WhatsApp line. Let's hear from you. Tonight, we have a double header for you. So, the wee hours of Saturday into Sunday witnessed the gruesome killing of an assemblyman for Sogakope. That led to a chain reaction that resulted in quite a scene at Sogakope. The main bridge that connects that part of the country to the rest of Ghana was blocked for hours as young and old people in the town expressed outrage over the killing. We had a very interesting scenario where our journalist on his way to cover an assignment got caught up in this, and he'll be telling us how he did it. We also have members of the community to explain to us why they've been so angry about this. And later on, government has a very new law it wants to enact, but people who sell used cars in Ghana are not happy. We'll get them to explain their points to us on The Point of View. Stay with us. So there are many layers to the conversation on The Point of View. We're talking about armed robbery. We're talking about insecurity. We're even talking politics because former President Rawlings says the person who was killed, Mauto Ajahli, was killed for political reasons. He's increased the bounty he's placed on the people who did the killing. All of this is coming up on the show. And of course, we'll also talk about the car industry. So what I'm going to do first is to remind you of what happened on Monday, because we were shocked by some of the scenes we saw in terms of how angry residents of Sogakope were. So this is an excerpt of what transpired Monday around 11 to 2 in the afternoon.
Our police here in Southtown, Sogakope particular, they are not effective. Every week, you hear that they shot somebody or armed robber attack somebody, and there is no investigation. Today, we heard that the regional minister is in town. They said they are doing press conference. Press conference doesn't bring us any solution. No clue, nothing. From today, we are going to block this barrier to further notice.
Now the tires are inflamed. They are throwing plastic chairs into the fire. The heat is becoming unbearable now. But the idea is to make a point, and the point is that they expect the police to come and answer questions why they did not attend to them on time when the assemblyman was being killed. And yet today the police have arrived with vehicles. That essentially is their concern, and that is why they are chanting what they are chanting. Let me speak to these young ladies. What's your name?
My name is Bankas.
Bankas, what's the problem here?
Just yesterday, or the day before yesterday, that was Saturday, in the night, I received a call that a friend and a brother was being attacked. By the time I got the message and I rushed to the police, he was dead and was carried away. But my information was that the police were called. He's a good friend to the commander, the district commander. He bought items for the district divisional commander, I suppose. This guy is a very good committee member. Koboni Hospital, every birthday of his, that is November 27th or so, he buys items for the...
Okay, I need to quickly just say that this is looking a bit crazy now. Plastic chairs are being held into the blazing fire. The people here are very unhappy with the death of the assembly member, and they have decided to show that anger by doing what they are doing, which is first of all blocking the road. And if you look in front of me, all the vehicles that were moving from Accra or from Ivory Coast or wherever in the western part of Ghana towards the eastern part have been prevented from moving. What this means is that access to the neighboring Togo, access to Togo and the Volta region would be impossible unless you had to reroute and use the Adomi Bridge, which is a longer journey. Now, these people would have none of it, despite the fact that there's heavy police presence in this community. They will not listen. I'm going to go in and see if I can speak to a few more people and possibly observe what is happening. Well, the smoke is thick. The tires are burning. The roads have been blocked. The vehicles are stationary. The people are rowdy and angry and unhappy. Nearby, though, is a police post. Let me attempt to see if I can get a comment or two. Hello, officers. Can I speak to anybody? I'm from Citi FM. My name is Umaru Sanda.
Commander is
That's
unless.
what you've seen.
Yes, but I was expecting you to be able
We are not
to.
the best person to.
Yes.
Okay.
If you want to enter and they will destroy.
Who can I speak to? Where is your commander?
They are the meeting at the.
Yeah. They are with the regional minister.
Okay, so you can't do anything about it. All right, thank you so much. Now the police station. Let me just check. There's a police post here, but there's no one in there. And let me just quickly show you. When I turned around, attempting to speak to these police officers, a storm just moved in here, and they are not happy with the fact that I've been attempted to come to the police station. Now, this is a crazy spectacle. If you just could see, the gentleman here is attempting to prevent people. They will not allow any police officer to speak. On the other side, there's a scuffle ongoing. This scuffle, I am not sure what it has to do with. These are people who are, I'm not sure what the scuffle is all about, struggling to, I'm not sure whether they want to take the bench of the police bench to put it in the fire. Another group that would not agree to that. What this means is that the group is divided. There are some who are against vandalism. Of course, there are others who are interested in just destroying. It seems the reasonable group has won. And, a stone has just been held at the window of the police. And there are others who are preventing these people from going the way they want to go. It must be a very chaotic scene.
It is very boring. They called them, it took them about 45 minutes. The people, they were breaking the door for 45 solid minutes to 1 hour before they were able to break the door.
But yesterday, when we were gathered here, and they called police from Togo, I was told that there was police from Accra that went to help in the elections. They called them within less than 45 minutes. They arrived from Togo down here.
I need to move from this smoke now. Suffice it to say that these people are not happy with the presence of the local authority here. The district chief executive for this area is attempting to find solutions. The regional minister, Archibald Lecha, is in town, but the youth will not allow him. The reason he has come here continues to be the problem. The problem of the closure of the road yesterday, the murder of the assemblyman. Now that situation has spiraled into what we are seeing today, another blockage of the major road. This issue is getting crazier by the moment. This young man here has been assaulted. He was holding a mobile phone. I do not know. Benjamin Aklama is our Volta regional correspondent. He's here with me. Ben, is that a journalist?
No, he's not a journalist. He's just a resident of the area.
So I'm going to continue with this. So that was the first 8 minutes of this. So Umaru Sanda Amadu, the journalist who led the team, is here with us. I also have Maxwell Lukuto, who's an opinion leader in Sogakope. He's going to also join us. Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben.
So I wanted to take you back to what I was showing. So you just explain what was going on there.
So let me just say that as a newsroom, aside covering breaking news, you also do what is called follow-ups. So on Sunday, there was a spontaneous decision by the youth of the town to block the road after the gentleman, the assembly member for Sogakope South, had been killed in the early hours of the day. So this was a spontaneous riot, and it, of course, blocked our heritage caravan and everybody else who was on that.
So the riot was on Sunday?
There was an earlier riot.
So what were you going to do there on Monday?
Yeah, so then on Monday, what do? You go back and speak to community members and community leaders. What is your concern? What is your challenge? How often do you record issues of crime and robberies and so on? And how is it that you're saying the police were not quick in their response? And then go to the police station.
So you were not anticipating a riot?
No. The assumption was that yesterday they rioted, they blocked the road, that has been addressed, so that would be it. Monday, you're going to do a mop-up exercise of a coverage. You're going to talk to the police and ask them, ABCD has been said about you. What did you do about it? Go to the family home, speak to the family.
So you're just going to do interviews. So what time did you get here? Here we are with this is the main road block.
Yes, so then...
What time did you get here?
So move from Accra, get to the Sogakope bridge, on top of the bridge. While our vehicle was on top of the bridge, I realized a gridlock. The vehicles were not moving. It was then that
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. That was when I called our correspondent, Benjamin Aklama, who had moved from Ho to come to the area in the morning. And he said to me that they have actually blocked the road.
So what we are seeing behind you is...
So this is just before you climb the Sogakope bridge, if you were coming from the Volta, if you were coming from Avle. So this is the other side, not this side of town.
Okay.
So across the other side of the river.
But they allowed you to cross on foot?
No, so of course, you just leave your car and then...
And are those police barriers I'm seeing?
There's supposed to be naturally a police barrier, an immigration post, a customs post, and a police post at Sogakope, because it's one of the biggest checkpoints we have outside Asikuma Junction.
So the people took over the police barrier, added furniture, and started burning ties.
So they went to drag their own materials, so there wouldn't have been a barrier here ordinarily, but they go for these plates, and you can see the other fences, so which means that there's always a barrier in that neighborhood. According to them, there are about 5 barriers between this place and a town called Botame, which is not far, which is like just a kilometer or 2. So they just went to drag all these random, you can even see they've used a collapsed tricycle.
So is this the main police station you are entering, or what is this?
No, this is just one of the police. So I said to you that there's a customs office, immigration office, and a police post just by the river. This is where you cross before entering Ghana if you were coming from.
So when you met these people, why didn't they want to talk to you?
These people were just harmless police officers who were sitting at their post waiting to see what's happening, because this chaos was, the crowd was huge. They could not address it. So they simply decided to stay there and look unconcerned of a sort. So I decided to move in and say, hey, police officers, you're supposed to maintain law and order. Law and order has broken down on the road. People are burning ties right under your nose. And this is happening like 10 meters from this post.
But there were only 3 police people there.
There were 3 people and they didn't even have arms.
Okay, so how come the people came to surround you? Was it that they didn't want you to talk to the police?
Yes, so when they noticed that I went with my microphone to talk to the police people, they said, no, don't talk to the police people. Don't talk to the police people. We don't want police. We want soldiers. That's what they kept chanting.
We don't want police. We want soldiers.
We want soldiers. We want soldiers. We don't want police. So they came in, and then that was when some of them...
What is going on here?
The bench that the policemen would sit on while
they were destroying it?
Yeah, so there was a 2 group. There was a clash between the reasonable ones, as I call them, and the unreasonable ones who think that let's take this table or bench, put it in the fire, because everything that can be consumed by fire was supposed to be thrown into the fire, plastic chairs and
so there were 2 groups. There were some who wanted to destroy.
Exactly.
And some who wanted to contain.
Fantastic. So there were some who started throwing stones at the police. So if you look closely, that building, this glass, that glass window, has been damaged by a stone that was thrown by someone in the crowd somewhere. Before they came, you can see the crack. Then they came for the bench, and then they were torn between burning it or not. But the group that was reasonable won, and they took the bench and put it at the back of the hotel. So then one guy amongst them came to me and said, Sanda, you know what, move from this police post. Otherwise, these people would vandalize the place. I said, all right. So I moved away.
So as in, were you the only media person there?
I could say we were the only media with presence. There were local reporters from the region who were there. I mean, I've seen several other journalists with cameras, but predominantly it was Citi TV that was there, and so a lot of the activities was around. As soon as I got out of the vehicle, the Citi TV vehicle, and started walking, even the hawkers on the roads, and they sell abdodi and all those, and said, hey, Umaru, you're welcome. We've been watching Citi TV. It's good to see you. I said, fantastic. So I
noticed that in your report, you were interrupted many times by people. They wanted to speak on record.
They wanted to speak. So they have seen a Citi TV mic. They've seen Umaru Sanda. They want to speak to you. And everybody. So you could see even the man standing behind me there. I'm told he's mentally deranged, but he also came for the microphone and said
he wanted to say something.
He actually even spoke, except that I couldn't have heard that.
All right, so before we went for the first of, you invited Ben because they were attacking somebody.
Yes,
what was going on
I
here?
noticed that there was a young man who was holding a mobile phone and filming, and they chanced on him and started beating him up and collected the phone from him, seized the phone. So in my mind, that would be a journalist doing his job and they are attacking him. Because I tried to speak to the leaders, but there was no leader among this group.
There's no identifiable leader?
No,
this was a spontaneous...
Yeah. What's
happening with the chair? What's going on there?
More people wanting to burn a lot of the property, others insisting, no, don't burn. So it was against the fight. So these are stuff they've taken from the police post. So they're going to burn them. So I decided to bring in Benjamin because he's our regional correspondent. He would know every journalist in that locality. So I said, Ben, is this gentleman a journalist? And he said, no, that's not a journalist. He's one of the protesters, but they are saying they do not agree for anyone to use a mobile phone to film because they do not know what that video will be used for.
So they want to speak to a media house, but they don't want to be filmed by unknown people.
Exactly. So they want to have a controlled narrative of their problems.
So up until this time, the stone throwing hadn't really started.
No, the stone hadn't. So this one, no one had even gone. So there's a police station and then there's a police post. This place that we are talking to you from, this is on the main road. This is where the police post is, where the immigration guys are.
So hold the story there. I'll come to you when we go next to where the running started. But Maxwell, who are these people? And this is day 2. Just give me a quick sense of how this thing happened, because we are told that it's spontaneous reaction?
Yeah, it was. These are town folks in the district. Sogakope, Sokpui, Tefle, Agbakope, and its environs. Anybody who knew this guy was so peeved and pained by the death that spontaneously they decided to take some of these actions. And so apparently the thing happened Saturday night. Malto is my guy. He's a close associate. He's a business associate. He helped in my political career. When he was becoming assembly member, I also helped him. We do a lot of things together. I work for him. I'm a licensed surveyor. And I also buy phones from him. So we have that cordial relationship.
Okay,
very known.
Put Maxwell on the screen so we just know who we are talking about. So is it that because Maxwell was a nice person, he's killing angered people? Or is it the manner of the killing? Or is it that there had been a lot of killings and this was the last straw that broke the camel's back?
As we stated in our press conference, this was the last straw that broke the camel's back. There were a series of killings, tortures.
Tortures?
Tortures.
By who?
By armed people. The last one occurred about a month ago. That's the one former President Rawlings referred to in his statement. It happened in Kademe, close to former President's house.
So Rawlings lives in Sogakope?
Rawlings lives in Sogakope. He lives around the place. So the one that happened was close to his home. And the police barrier was just about 2 minutes walk to the guy's house. That's about a month ago. This guy is also a mobile money vendor. Whilst he closed and went home, he's also a lotto agent. So after Saturday, he closed his mobile money business, went home, and deep in the night, the people came and attacked him, broke his door, like a similar fashion.
For how long has Sogakope been experiencing this type of robbery?
It's been long. It's around 2010. There were serial killings of women to the extent that former President Rawlings has to come in and fix solar lamps at strategic positions.
From 2010?
Yes. So there have been series of these occurrences. As for motor riders being nabbed, being stabbed, being killed, motor taken from them, farm depot operators being attacked at night, money taken from them, nurses being killed, and all these things happen.
Really?
It's been series of them. So it's like,
who are these people? Who are responsible?
How can we tell if they are not arrested and brought to book? And so for some of us, when we went to the scene, we realized that this could happen to an assembly member who is no meaner person, who has a bulletproof door that was broken into. He dragged, killed, stabbed. I feared for my life. And I said that I may be the next target for these people. They may equally come and do same thing to me. Somebody also thought same. Another person also thought same. So all of a sudden, spontaneously, the anger rose. And we decided to protest.
Who took a video of the body? Because there's a video circulating after he was shot. Is it the people who chanced upon him immediately?
The people who chanced on him.
But from the narration, was it a robbery gone wrong, or was it based on what you people know, somebody was sent to kill the person? Because I think Rawlings has said this looks like a political...
He is a security expert. I am not. I am unable to tell whether it's an assassination or it's an armed robbery or whatever it is. The police are the best people after investigation to tell us what exactly the situation was. I wouldn't be able to hazard a guess to say that it is a contract killing or an armed robbery. Both occurred. He was killed, he was stabbed, his monies were taken. Even the safe in his room was brought outside, broken into, and monies taken from. So where do I lay the blame now? I don't know whether.
But why are they people angry with the police? Why are they blaming the police?
The fact of the matter is that the police are the ones who have been trained. They are the ones we pay with our taxpayers' money to keep us safe. They were called. They never came. The one that I referred to that happened in Tademe, close to former President Rawlings' house. The claim of the boys in town were that when they went to the barrack to call them, they said there were no bullets in their gun.
Wow.
Yes, and this one too, the assertion we are hearing is that when they were called, they said they had no fuel in the patrol vehicle to use to drive to his place. Apparently, driving from the police station or the barrier to this guy's house would take less than 5 minutes. And so if that thing could happen over 45 minutes, 1 hour, broken into security doors, 2 of them, before getting him, shooting him, these people had the guts. They brought the safe out, broke it, took money, and then just walked away. So this operation took about an hour and a half. And police were called. When they were called, when they were not called, I wasn't privy to.
The police said that, I have the police report here, they said that 50 minutes past midnight on 1st March, a team of police officers detailed at the Sogakope buyer received calls of an attack on the house of the assemblyman. Inspector Daniel Mensah rushed his colleagues at the point to the scene of crime. At 10 minutes past 1 a.m. same day, Prince Citi, a neighbor, reported the same attack at the Sogakope police station. Subsequently, the police patrol was called to respond. However, the team was far from the scene. They say it will be instructive to know that the police did not delay in arriving at the house of the deceased in order to save the situation. And where delay was anticipated, an advanced team at the barrier abandoned their beat and went to the rescue. But unfortunately, the man was killed and robbed while the wife and children were wounded. There are other things the police say there. So they're basically saying that they did their best, but it's not enough.
Bernard, it's not about doing their best. What we want is to be safe. There were a series of such cases, and you only hear flimsy excuses. The first guy was stabbed, and he's still receiving medical care at a hospital. This guy was stabbed, killed. So what will be the next one? And every time they will say that they responded in quick time. So why were they not able to save the situation? If the people did the thing within 5 minutes and left, that one, there's no excuse. But to be there for an hour and a half, whilst it could take just 5 minutes. And this guy we are talking about is no mean person. I hear in the report, one guy said that every birthday of his, he does a lot of philanthropic work. I want to believe that the flat screen that the police are even watching in the charge office was bought and donated by this guy. The divisional commander says he's his friend. The district commander says he is his friend. Apparently, that evening, the district commander spoke to me after he had met him at the popular place we sit at night. So he said he met him on his car, he chatted with him for a little while and drove away. So I want to believe that he would have called any of these senior officers and also junior officers.
Okay, I'll take a break. When I come back, I'm going to show you the running, because there was a lot of running, a bit of shouting, and Umaru had to actually scream at Kamaru, his cameraman, because stones were being pelted. And then Maxwell will tell me who these people are and whether they were determined to burn the police station or what, because it really seemed pretty serious. Later on, we'll talk about the car dealers and their concerns as well. This is The Point of View. Stay with us. Welcome back to The Point of View. We have a two-part show for you today. We're first trying to go behind the scenes, Sogakope, where the 2 days of roadblocks was seen. I have Maxwell Lukuto, an opinion leader in Sogakope, and Umaru Sanda Amadu, a journalist who was on the beat. So the first part of what we've shown you really involved when you got to Sogakope, the blocking of the road and initial advances to the police station. But things will get more serious.
These people here are finally arrived here, and I'm not sure what they're doing here. They're picking the motorbikes that had been previously seized. The officer... Gunshots have been fired. Gunshots have been fired now. The police people, the police officers at the Sogakope police station are just firing shots now. This is crazy. I'm not sure if that should be MTTD. But he's cocking his rifle and firing into the crowd, and this looks like live bullets. The youth have dispersed momentarily. Things are looking ugly here. Come this way.
And that bullet is not the one that will touch.
These are live bullets being fired now.
They are not today. Something is going to happen at Sogakope here because we are suffering from police. They can't be doing anything. What is their problem? They are paying them.
But this is dangerous. They are
the security behind us. So when something happens, what something happens? Why can't they protect us?
But these are
These
are live bullets.
They are what?
They are firing live bullets.
We are not afraid of police. We are not afraid of police. What? We are not afraid. See the gun. We are going to spoil everything here.
But they are going to shoot you.
No, we don't have a problem because of our manager died. Let's go there.
I'm afraid I will not go with you, but that. Now this may sound ugly. This may soon turn out very ugly if it's not quickly fixed. Because these youth are relentless in their efforts. The police are firing from a barricaded point with live bullets, and you can hear the re-echoing of the guns being fired. It's a stalemate now. The youth are on the one side, and the police are on the other side. The firing has stopped for now. We're not sure if this was directed at the people who were hurling the stones at the police station, or it was simply a case of warning shots that have been fired. But it's like a stalemate, and these youth are gathering more stones and hurling them at the police station. The police are firing back with weapons. This is Citi Newsroom. On Citi TV, I am Umaru Sanda. And these ladies here who are like backing vocals are saying that they do not want the police anymore and they simply want to move from here. People are retreating.
Maybe more police arrest them. You are having helmets. You are having bulletproof. Why they say they are not having life? You are here. They are not doing their duty as a policeman. Hey, they are shooting.
Let me see if I can attempt to bridge that gap between these two feuding parties, youth on the one side and the police at another side. Can we come? Can we come? Can we come? Can we come? Yes, we are attempting to come. We are attempting to come from media. Umaru, if you can just keep rolling. It's a very oh, that's too bad. The youth are still throwing stones. They are still throwing stones here into our direction. And can I come in? I want to come in. Okay. This is getting ugly. This is getting ugly. And they are throwing stones from all directions. If we could just go around into the police station.
So this is still the point of view. So, Sanda, I mean...
This is a demonstration that has moved from the road to the police station because the people just all of a sudden decided that they would leave just a party on the roadside to continue blocking access routes while everybody else moved.
Who mobilized them?
I don't know. Everything was working spontaneously. And you see, when I even asked them who your leader was so that I could speak to the leader, they said to me their leader is assemblyman, he's dead. Right now, everybody is a leader on their own because the assemblyman who would have ordinarily either told them to stop or continue because he's the leader of the electoral area.
The gunshots we heard, were they real guns?
They were real guns because you cock and you fire. If that's not a gun, I don't know what
do we know whether they were live bullets?
Well, all I know is that 3 people have been injured. If a bullet wouldn't injure...
Did they aim into the crowd?
So you saw, if you look, and I must commend our cameraman, Kamaru Abdullah was fantastic. I mean, in the war zone-like place where he stood and zoomed, there's a shot that you'd see where he zoomed in and picked a nozzle of a gun emerging from the louver blade of a police station.
Can you show me that again?
Yes, and the policeman
Anas, can you show me that again?
The policeman was shooting.
So roll a few seconds back.
And you see, now the thing with the gun is that it was a vertical angle. It wasn't, what's the word? Is it vertical?
It was
horizontal. It wasn't vertical.
So he was pointing laterally.
Now, if it was horizontal, then you would say it's a warning shot. But it was direct.
No, hold on. If it was upward, he shot laterally. That means he shot straight.
I didn't do the line.
So is this what you're talking about?
I didn't do linear. Yeah. Yes, so look at that gun.
On the left?
Yes, so that gun there, the policeman who just looked in from the window and went back, that gun is pointing directly into the crowd. Now,
but he's in a window. He can't shoot upwards. Otherwise, he'll shoot the roof.
Yeah, but if he's shooting directly to the people, if he wants to shoot upwards, you come up. Because there's another policeman.
How many people were around here?
There were dozens of people because they had surrounded the whole police station.
What was their intention?
Their intention initially was to take these motorbikes.
Why?
One of them. I'm told that these motorbikes were seized by these police people in December. You know that area.
So they want to take the motorbikes. And now here, so what were you saying? Can I come? What's going on there?
Good. So usually as a reporter, when you go to a scene to report and things de-escalate, your safest haven would be with the security agencies. It's something you see from every... So if it's a UN team, if it's a military team, you go and join them. So the idea was that it's getting ugly over there.
So you want to join the police?
Yeah, gunshots are being fired. And I didn't want to...
So you want to be where the gun is being fired?
I didn't want to catch a bullet, so I would rather go and be at the base.
So you said, can I come?
Yeah, can I come?
But were they hearing you?
They were so angry, and you see, they looked like they had been cornered. This looked like, if you They were really cornered and they were under siege, these police people.
So you had to go to the side of
And I really was worried for them because these stones were coming from all angles. The commander of the station was not even wearing a helmet. He didn't even have a sidearm on. When I eventually
So who is this person in white?
This is also one of the police officers who is holding the gun they used to fire the tear gas. But they didn't have tear gas at the police station, which is again a pathetic situation.
They didn't have tear gas?
Because when the redeployment team came or reinforcement team came, they inquired from them, do you have tear gas? They said they didn't have tear gas. So there was no way to disperse the crowd. If there was tear gas and they fired even few canisters, everybody there would have dispersed. But they didn't have that. So it was an onslaught on the police station.
So how did this eventually end?
This would end when the military come in. The military guys had to come in. And
guys came in.
Now, when the military came, they didn't use force because these were people who were chanting, we want soldiers, we don't want police.
We want soldiers.
We want soldiers. They say they don't trust any policeman wearing any police uniform in Sogakope and that they want every policeman in
So
that
if the military
area.
hadn't come, what would have happened?
What would have happened, which I foresaw and decided that my team and I should leave the police station, is that they will burn the police station down.
They will burn the police station?
Yes, they will burn it down. Reason, and I have seen this. The police had few weapons. You notice that the weapon was not coming. It was just
they'll shoot one and then wait.
I have a feeling either they didn't have enough bullets or something. How many times can you shoot for, or how long can you shoot for? They have called for reinforcement. When the reinforcement pickup came, it had only 2 police people. And the people said, oh, and then they threw stones at the pickup. The driver fled off with the vehicle.
Wow.
Then another one comes, and they came with weapons, and they started negotiating with the people. And these were police people who had come, tactical teams.
They were negotiating?
Yes, CTU, counter-terrorism, I'm not sure. They were supposed to come, and that didn't happen. Then, these boys went to prepare what is called Molotov cocktail, which is petrol bomb.
Molotov cocktail?
Molotov
cocktail.
Yes, it's a Russian term. It means the bottle bomb or petrol bomb, where you pour petrol in a bottle, you put a rag, light the rag, and throw it. They threw 1, 2. The police used extinguishers to quench that.
So they were trying to, wow.
Yeah, so if they threw that, imagine there were parked vehicles and parked motorbikes in the police station. And they were flying these cocktails from a nearby house. And I can go show the house because I saw them with the bottles there. And so when they fly these bottles into that place, when it lands, it will burst. The glass bottle will burst. The petrol will spill, and then there will be fire. Now, if this lands on a vehicle...
So you thought it could have been a police station?
They would have.
Do you have shots of the military coming in?
The military ended up on the road. That's where they...
So once the military came, they opened the road?
As soon as the military came and they started clearing from the road, everybody from the...
So this is the guy shooting the empty tear gas thing? Okay, yeah. So these are the military guys now?
So these are the military guys who now came to clear... earlier, in our earlier shot, this would have been a barrier that they had done.
And you were still reporting?
Yeah, because we had to come and tell the story of how the roads were open. Mind you, people have been sitting in their vehicles for 3 hours. Innocent people who didn't know even what was happening.
How far back did the traffic stretch?
It would go as way back as Tefle, I'm sure, because 3 hours, that's a lot of time.
Okay.
That's if you're coming from Accra.
Maxwell, so who are the people we saw in this thing throwing? Who are these people?
They definitely will be members of the district. They are not people I can identify with their faces and to pinpoint or mention names. But of course, these are charged people who are mourning the demise of their leader. And it's just pathetic.
The police are describing you as a self-acclaimed leader in Sogakope, and they are essentially blaming you for this. Paragraph 7, the command also reckons the acts of lawlessness demonstrated by the youth led by one Maxwell Luke Tuko, a self-acclaimed opinion leader of Sogakope. The command has taken note of the role he played in inciting the youth to engage vandalism and lawlessness where properties were damaged and the international road was blocked. So they are essentially blaming you for this.
I don't see
when this was happening, where were you?
I was nowhere near. Apparently, the regional minister was in town, and there was a scheduled meeting between myself, some of the youth, and him. And so we were waiting at the meeting ground for the regional minister to come to meet us.
You were in the meeting ground?
Yes.
While this was going on?
Yes.
At the residence?
So I was nowhere near.
Whose residence?
The DCE's residence.
Was the DC there?
Of course.
So he saw you in the meeting?
In the meeting. The regional minister was there. The regional police commander was also there.
They were in that meeting?
They were in that meeting.
So why is the police saying that you are why are they blaming you for this?
I'm sure it's the PRO who issued this statement. He was not on the ground. So I will just forgive him for whatever he would have stated. I am nowhere
so
near
you
whatever.
were in a meeting with the regional commander.
Yes.
Why were you invited to that meeting?
Apparently, the Sunday, because of the siege at the police station, I had to come into, had to stop the situation and manage it and make sure that things don't generate into what Umaru is saying. They would have burned the police station if I had not gone there on Sunday. So I had to go there, talk to them, calm them down.
Really?
He went to the barrier, blocked it. I had to beg them before they opened it. Apparently, the DC was nowhere to be found. Between 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, he came after 12 o'clock.
But who are you? How come when you talk, they listen?
I am part of them. I am a youth.
Are you a politician? What are you?
I don't know who they describe as a politician.
No, I'm just asking because if you had to tell them to stop whatever they were doing on Sunday, then it means you are...
I have been part of these people. These are people ordinarily I'll be paying school fees for. These are people ordinarily I do a lot of things for. I am a business person. I have set up businesses and I employ people. And so a lot of people know me and I have gone to school there. Apparently, Sogakope Secondary School. I am the national president. Sogakope. And Malto apparently is one of my guys. He's also an old student of Sogakope. And so there are a lot of connections about me in town that anybody who knows me, I don't think that if the police know me, they would describe me as a rowdy person.
What did the regional minister conclude? The meeting you had, what was the conclusion? What was the...
The conclusion is for us to collaborate. First of all, he went to see that the numbers the police had shortfalls. Apparently, they said they needed about 30 men. But so far, they have just 21. About 16 people were transferred recently, and only 8 or 9 were brought back. So they have a shortfall even in their numbers. Their offices are nothing to write home about. The conditions of service of the police people is nothing we can talk about. Now they are complaining that they don't have fuel in their patrol vehicles. They are complaining that they don't have bullets in their guns, as Umaru has asserted to.
The patrol vehicles have been vandalized anyway.
So there are several things that are plaguing them.
But is the police station open as we speak?
Oh, it is.
Are they working now?
No, they are.
People are calm now?
Yeah, town is calm. And
have the police invited you?
No, invite us in.
To talk to you?
No, I'm in constant touch with the commando. I speak with the divisional commander. I speak with the district commander. Every now and then, if there's some information, I give them. If there's some information, they call me. So we are in constant collaboration. I am not against them. They are apparently my friends. But for me, I'm operating from a level of principle. That if we are not safe, we are not safe. Whether you are my friend or not, we are not safe. And so do something and make sure we are safe. If out of this action, several people are coming up to make sure that things are done properly. For instance, the former President Rawlings, the town council of chiefs. You hear that the NDC Volta Regional Caucus was in town today, and there were several other people. Up to now, we have about 60,000 bounty on the heads of those who will give information for the perpetrators to be arrested. There are a lot of things that may happen. The regional minister informed me that he spoke to the IGP, who is ready to bring men, who is ready to bring a vehicle, who is ready to bring things to make sure that things happen. And so if out of our anger that we express, that we want to be safe, and these things happen, why would anybody come and be blaming me? Anybody who knows me will know ordinarily that I'm not a violent person. I will never hurt a fly. I am a person who will bring order when there's chaos. And so if they want to blame me, I'll forgive him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. If he was on the ground, he wouldn't have been speaking the way he's speaking.
So
we shouldn't be blaming each other.
You.
He should be thanking you. We shouldn't be blaming each other for whatever is happening now.
All right. Maxwell, thank you. Sanda, I have to end it here.
Just a quick point. Bernard, the level of distrust between the community members and the police people, my advice, if anyone would listen to me, would be move every policeman currently in Sogakope out of Sogakope.
Bring a new team.
Bring fresh team.
Start a new relationship.
The hostilities that I saw, it will not end now.
Umaru Sanda Amadu, Citi News reporter, Maxwell Lukuto, opinion leader, Sogakope. When we come back, we are going to talk about cars. Do you drive a fresh car or you drive a second hand? We have the car dealers who are not happy with moves by government to ban certain types of cars. Government doesn't want accident cars to be imported into Ghana anymore. Neither do they want certain kinds of old cars. But will that collapse their business? We'll talk to them. Stay with us. Welcome back to The Point of View. We have lots of comments on Umaru Sanda and on Maxwell Lukuto and Sogakope, but let me just segue into the next issue and I'll read all your comments at the end. So let me take you to Parliament and just show you two quick things. So Information Minister Kojo Oponkroma, Trade Minister Alan Chemating explained government's intentions in terms of amending a certain act. This is really the cause of the controversy. Just watch.
The supposition that second-hand vehicles are being banned in general. That is not correct. That is not correct. Indeed, the provision in the amendment is that vehicles that are above 10 years are the ones that within a particular time and upon commencement of production should be banned. And I'll explain how that works. Indeed, if you look at the numbers as was made available to the committee, vehicles above 10 years as a percentage of the vehicles that are imported into the country do not exceed even 17 to 20%. Doesn't get there at all. And so it is only a limited percentage of vehicles that are imported into this country that are actually affected by this potential ban as will be put in place. Indeed, the second bracket deals with salvaged vehicles, what we usually call condemned vehicles, or accident vehicles that people have put together, import, and then come and reassemble. Many of these vehicles, Mr. Speaker, for roadworthy purposes on their own, are not necessarily safe for our roads. But we have had a culture in this country where we allow people to pick pieces of these vehicles, bring them together, and come and reassemble them and then utilize. So these are the two categories that will be affected by a ban. But the broad majority of the vehicle market will still remain intact. So, Mr. Speaker, the jobs of second-hand dealers generally is not affected. It is those who are dealing in salvaged vehicles and the small percentage of vehicles that are overage vehicles that will be affected by this. But, Mr. Speaker, the good news is that the automotive development policy responds to these concerns.
So that was Kojo Ponkroma explaining the point. I have in studio Clifford Anso, General Secretary, Automobile Dealers Union. Mr. Ponkroma says only those who import accident cars and very, very old cars will be affected. The large majority of you will not be affected. Does that satisfy you?
Thank you very much, and very good evening to your viewers. If he says so, fine. In a way, I disagree with him. Why? Because who say that the people who import these vehicles bring salvage and accident vehicles? We don't bring total condemned vehicles. When you describe a car as a salvage, if it has a physical damage of the vehicle that cannot be driven, if a car is flooded, if the car has involved in an accident in a way like a fire, we describe these things as salvage. Now, the car that we bring, we don't bring such cars and then come and put them together here and say we are using them, we are selling them to people. You go and see a car in America or Canada with a little fault on it, maybe the bonnet, the boot, the headlight is broken. You also buy those spare parts and put it and come and fix them here and sell. Nobody will go to the market in America and buy totally condemned vehicle and say, I am bringing them here and assemble them or reassemble them here and sell to people. We don't do that.
Then if that's what you're saying, that means you are not affected by what he's saying. But why are your members upset? If you are not importing condemned or accident cars, and you are only importing cars with minor defects, which is what you're saying, then you shouldn't be worried about what Kojo is saying or what Alan Tremartin is saying or what the new law is proposing. Is it that you are not clear on how to implement it, for which reason you are not happy?
The thing is that it is today he's giving this explanation. First of all, they did not bring that explanation. But whatever may be the case, we are very happy that we went to the minister. You had a meeting with the minister about 2 weeks ago, and we discussed this issue with him, that if what they are proposing is what they are going to do, then there's no way that we are also going to accept. And the minister also spoke to us, and he said, if this is our grievances, then he's also going to consider them in a way. Last week, we went to Parliament when they submitted the bill to the Finance Committee. Immediately we got there, they gave us the document. We also read, but only that, unfortunately, we didn't get enough time to read. When we came home, that we realized that, there were certain things that, at least...
So you only saw this document last week?
We only saw it last week.
How come you've not been involved from the beginning?
You see, when they invite you to come and sit on a board, and you talk about 1, 2, 3, and say, we shall get in touch with you later, and you go away. It's a different ball game that we've sat down with somebody, extensively discussed with the person that, this is what I'm going to do. So what is your view? What is your opinion? That is a different ball game.
So this Automobile Dealers Union, how many are you?
We are over 2 million plus.
Hey, 2 million people selling cars?
We have a lot of workers.
How?
Let me tell you something. Let's not even talk about Takra. Go to Takoradi, go to Kumasi, go to Sunyuan, all those places, every garage, they have garage boys. And all these garage boys who are also helping, giving their help to us are all garage people.
So it's not only people who sell cars?
It's not only people.
Because some of the cars have to be repaired by mechanic shops and garages. So all these people are part of your group?
No. If you take your car to workshop, that person is not a car dealer.
So when you say garage, what are you referring to?
I'm talking about where cars are parked and sold.
And your garage boys and you, the people who sell the cars, are up to 2 million?
More than 2 million.
Are you serious?
I'm talking about countrywide.
2 million?
I'm not talking about only in Accra. You can take your time, go to Tema alone, and see number of car dealers parked on the road side.
And so, okay, how many, for in your garage, how many people do you have?
For me, I have 7 people.
What are they doing? What work do they do there?
We are all selling cars. So some of them are my cousins and others also are my workers.
When they come, what work do they do?
Like what?
When you said, because the car is being sold, so the car is sitting now being sold, what work are the 7 people doing?
For example, if I've gone out from the garage in the afternoon, somebody must be there. If a customer comes, they need to attend to the person. And if you say you are only going to work because you bought the car alone and you must work alone, when you are not there and somebody also comes to the garage, what is it going to happen to the person? So you must, get people involved. And this number of people, like I said, countrywide, we have more than 2 million.
What about the fact that if you listen to Alan, maybe I'll play Alan briefly. He also said that cars which are over 10 years old, don't forget those cars would typically have bad engines, so that they would be causing smoke hazard and it could possibly pollute the environment. Do you have any problem with the fact that they will ban cars which are more than 10 years old as well?
There are even cars that are less than 2 years, but they are smoking. The engine is smoking. There are cars. There are cars. Yes, let me tell you something. You can go to store and buy a car today. You don't know what will happen to the engine in a year or two. The engine will even start smoking. And there are cars also more than 10 years, like you are saying. When you go to Germany, for example, and somebody has parked his car in his home, more than maybe 4 or 5 years, they are not using the car, and you bring the car, even though the manufacturing date is 10 years, all right, but it doesn't mean that they overuse the engine.
But are you aware that in places like the UK, for example, they're even taxing people who use certain kinds of cars within the space of London? They want you to use electronic cars. A lot of the cars which are 10 years old were built on old technology, so they pollute our environment more. So, for example, the air over certain cities in Africa will be worse than the air over certain cities in Europe because of the kind of cars they use. So, aren't you concerned about that?
If you ask this question, the simple answer that I'll give you to you is that we even have some cars here in Ghana that the engines are smoking. What are we doing about that? We are not talking about the imported ones. The old ones that are running in the system. I don't know whether if you also drive here in Accra. If you are driving in Accra here, you go and go behind a certain cars that the engine is seriously smoking. You see policeman watching. Oh, massa, go. No, next time don't do this thing again. What are they doing about that?
How many garages do we have in Ghana?
As of now, I cannot guess and tell you exact number that we have, but we have more than 3,000 garages.
Which part of Accra has the most garages? Is it La Paz? Is it the N1? Is it Sogakope? Is it Abosokai? Just geographical. Is it Achimota? Is it Adenta? Which part of Accra has the most car?
Tema is part of Accra. Do you know that?
Yes.
Okay.
So Tema?
Yes.
You think Tema has the most?
Tema is the most.
I see. Explain your business to me. So let's assume I want a Toyota Corolla, and you're going to buy it from US, and it's 10 years old, and mileage is 30,000 kilometers, and it has a damaged boot. How much would I pay for that car? If you bring it in, you ship it, you clear it, you fix the boot, you spray it for me.
Depending upon the person you will meet. Sometimes you go and meet somebody, the person can reduce the price for you. You will meet another person also, the price will be
No, I'm buying from you. You are my guy. I want to buy from you now. Tell me. I want a Toyota Corolla. Not more than 10 years old. The only damage is that some car hit the back. 30,000 kilometers is the mileage. It's in good condition. AC is working. Engine is looking okay. And you are shipping it from the US, from Virginia.
Why Virginia? Why Virginia?
I want you to tell me how much it will cost me.
See, the thing is that, like I said, as for business, we all trade for profit. I can even get 2,000 and come and give it to you 3,000. So if I sit here and tell you that,
on average, how much would you have bought that car in Virginia before bringing it? Because I know shipping is also important.
Shipping is very important.
The clearing. How much would you have gotten that car? Just the way I've described it, on average.
You see, like I said earlier, based on the person that you meet. You meet somebody, the person will give it to you less than maybe $1,500.
Just give me an idea. Will it be $2,000, $5,000, or $10,000?
It will be around $1,700 to $1,500.
And how much will shipping cost?
$1,400.
So that if you add that, you are around $3,000 something dollars. Clearing at the port.
That is the most serious something there.
So let's assume it was $3,500 for shipping.
It is more than
no, I'm coming. So let's assume you bought the car $1,500. Another $900.
You can't get $1,500 in US.
$2,500.
Sometimes $3,500.
But I've given you the car description.
You see, the thing is, you cannot be specific that this car can be sold at this one so price at this place.
I wanted to know the percentage that the port will add as tax. So let's assume you bought the car at $2,500. Shipping is $1,000. So $3,000.
We cannot assume that a car can be bought $2,000, Maloda.
You're a difficult student. Let's assume the car and the shipping is $4,000.
Good.
How much would they have charged me as a port for clearing?
Fine. The port charges, sometimes if you come and the dollar is low, you pay less. If you come and the dollar also is higher, you pay higher. So somebody can pay $12,000, $1,800.
For a $4,000 car, I can pay $12,000 for port.
Even more than
12,000 cedis.
12,000 cedis, yes.
So you add that 12,000 cedis to the $4,000. Then you have to now repair the boot, and then you spray the car.
But remember what that I'm giving you. It is my business. So it is not that I will give you the exact figures that are.
But there should be an industry standard.
No, if you can't say it should be an industry standard. In business.
Okay, finally, the president said they are going to bring Volkswagen and other people to come and manufacture their cars here. Are you happy about that?
We don't condemn the government bringing in the assemblies. But our problem now is that they should let us also know that the overage cars that they are describing, the truck ones, the truck ones should be excluded. Because those ones, if they are less than 10 years, you cannot buy them in Europe or America, Korea and bring them here. They are expensive if they are less than 10 years. So they should give us a break on that. And at least they should also let us know the extent of damage, because in their definition, the survey that they are describing now, if you don't take time, at the end of the day, when you come to Tema Harbour here, the custom officer will tell you that what is on the paper is what I'm going to deal with. So we want a clarification there.
Let me read some comments for you viewers before we go. Good evening, Bernard. Our police service must be up and doing to protect the citizens. Mustafa from Osei Kuse near Manyakrobo. Good evening, Bernard. As much as I condemn the act by the youth at Sogakope, I also think the attitude and lackadaisical behavior of some of our men in uniform leaves much to be desired. Jones Adoboy in La. Hello, Bernard. This is Ghana. Citizens have protested, but I bet you nothing will happen afterwards. Even an MP was murdered in his own residence, and up till now, the case has been in and out of court. Ghana is now not safe. Dugan Sefi. We also greetings. This doesn't look nice. If I may ask, what is the traditional authority doing about this? Abdul Huyu from Awishi. But the regional minister's inability to or refusal to meet the youth at Assembly Hall was the cause of the protest. If he had met them, this wouldn't have happened. This is Mauto in Sogakope. Yusuf Abdul Ahab from Sudan. Bernard, good evening, and to you and Umaru. In fact, Ghana Police Service really has a reputation to build. Ghanaians have utterly lost confidence in the Ghana Police Service, and administration has a lot of work to do. Well done to Umaru Sanda and his cameraman for that audacious and brave job. Omni Media, the sky is the limit. Finally, somebody was wanting to ask you, but I asked you already. Bernard, ask your guest the number of garages in the country aside from the number of dealers. He said he couldn't tell me the number of garages in the country. So, what was your next action?
Our next action is, we are pleading with government to consider our input that we've made so far.
So you are pleading?
We are also a stakeholder of the industry.
So you are asking government to consider?
Yes.
Clifford answer. Thank you for talking to us. Earlier on, we had Maxwell Lukuto and Umaru Sanda Amadu. We discussed initially the Sogakope disturbances with some behind the scenes, and I also talked about the government's new policy on import cars. My name is Avle. Thank you for watching The Point of View. Goodbye. Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on Citi TV's YouTube channel. Subscribe for more videos on The Point of View. My name is Bernard Avle. Thank you.
The Point of View with Bernard Avle, Monday and Wednesday nights, only on Citi TV.